PNG's third world status, as well as the country's poverty rate, has been an issue that's frequently been put under the spotlight. The margin between the elites and the average income earner is fairly noticeable. However, studies now show just how noticeable. The seminar, held at the IPA House in Konedobu, was attended by officers from the public and private sectors, including the National Statistical Office and the Asian Development Bank. Focusing on poverty trends in the country during the last 2 decades, Professor John Gibson deliberated over household surveys taken from government bodies such as the NSO between the years of 1996 and 2009-2010. His research showed there has been no evidence of decline in poverty, mentioning that the poverty line did not change, rather the proportion of people did.
It's difficult to generate broad-based growth from development, which is so inherently concentrated and also so capital intensive. So there's very few people who actually get to work directly in the resources sector. There's great difficulties in seeing the resources incomes or rents flow widely because they're controversial as to, well, who owns them, which landowner group, and so on. And that's partly because they're so large. Whereas in some countries it's much smaller, things like small factories, small manufacturing, small textiles, and small informal sector activities, which are allowing lots and lots of people to move into better lives, and that's not been by and large a feature of Papua New Guinea over a number of years.
This in stark contrast to what the Minister of Treasury had to say on the matter at a recent Economic Outlook breakfast.
In contrast to the rather somber international scene, the Papua New Guinea economy remains strong and business continues to draw confidence from the stable domestic political landscape, the government's fiscal stimulus, and the continuing construction phase of the Papua New Guinea LNG project.
With the economy described as strong and the obvious boom in the resource sector, why do studies show no decline in poverty around the country? One has only to step out onto the streets of Port Moresby to witness the hard-hitting fact that poverty has never really gone away. The nation's poverty rates during times of apparent economic prosperity may be astounding and culminate with differing points of views. However, the fact remains that regardless of current or projected booms in any sectors, studies show that PNG is relatively poor compared to our neighbours Australia and New Zealand. Leon Jarari, National MTV News.